Alright, I'm back. I just finished drilling. I did the 1/16 hole like I said for your center, and then I drilled out my back hole here, which I have, and then I drilled the diameter. And basically what I did is I've got a little gauge here. I can grab it in my tool right here. I'll show you. It's just basically one of these gauges that you have, and basically what I did is just kind of put it through the right size hole. Ended up being a 5/16 drill bit, and since this was perfectly already centered for my hole, once I got to the right depth, then I just drilled my 5/16 bit down this, from this way down. That if it chips out at the back, not from the front. And when you just insert this into the back, it inserts like this, and a little nut comes with it on your kit. And I'd say it's sticking out, maybe about 1/8 of an inch or so here. The first time it just went just a titch, a little deep. The first, I had it just a little bit, it was a little too short. I went a little bit more, and it was still a little bit short, and then I went a little bit more, and it ended up being a little bit too long, but it's okay. Simple fix. Scrap piece of wood lying around, and all I did was drill the same hole, 5/16 is the diameter, and width-wise, which is about 3 inches, and put it in here. And then by the time you stick a battery in the back and everything, it's not lining up here. One sec. Of course, now on camera it's not working. There we go. Put it in. I'll be gluing it in, so when it lines up perfectly. And basically, it just fits right in the back like so, and then your clock goes at the back here, and it just hangs out. You can have it a little further out if you want it. That's okay. I personally just like it just a little bit, so when you tighten that nut on it, that it's not further than what the nut is. That's okay. It just extends your handles, and they just stick out a little bit further, and that's okay too. Gives a nice deeper effect to it. Your preference. So that's kind of that start. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I'll do a video on my next step, which is the Cricut machine. I'm going to cut out the actual shape for this because I bought it at Home Depot. It's really meant for book covers. You can put it on books and stuff. There's a little sticky tack backing to it, and what I do is I cut it to the shape that I want it, and then I just paint it to the color. Then I just peel it, stick it on, and then put my numbers on, and that's pretty much it. The horse I'm going to be doing a little more detail and stuff. So I'll show you my steps on how I do it. I want to try with the snout of the nose. How horses, their nose is a little bit divot inward. I want to kind of do that, and for an eye, I want to make a realistic eye, and hair, I'm going to try and make a little realistic hair and stuff, and everything else is going to be painted. So that one's going to be a little more detailed, but I'll show you my finished product on that, and some of the tips that I'm going to be doing with that. But this will be my next step on showing you from the Cricut machine how it works, how it cuts out, how I line it up and peel it. So yeah. So that'll be my next step. So here we are. I'm going to cut the image for the buffalo bill symbol on this. And this just wanted to show you, this is a Cricut machine. Basically it's called. You buy your own cartridges, and it cuts out really neat objects and shapes. So basically what I do is I've got this, and I've got a USB cable hooked up to my laptop. And basically, once it's hooked up, and this program here is called Make the Cut. It's a software you can buy. Just go to the website. I can leave a link below for you to check it out. And I really like it. It allows me to do a lot of woodworking projects, craft projects, and really neat things you can really do with this program. I'm really happy with it. It was a little more money than what I was thinking for price-wise. But it's totally worth it. So, not that I'm promoting their program or anything, but it's really cool. So anyways, so here's basically my buffalo that I got here, and I'm basically ready to go. I got the right size and everything that I want it, and I'll show you afterwards the paper that I'm talking about. It's basically clear and everything on it, so it's pretty much, I don't know if I can show you real close. It's got black and then it's got like this white stuff at the end, and it just helps its stickiness afterwards. And I basically don't want to cut, I want to cut through, but I don't want to cut all the way through onto that, so because it'll be easier to peel and whatnot afterwards and for painting. So basically I've got everything ready to go that I want. This is just my little buffalo here. Oh, and I forgot to mention before, I quickly just sanded the edges and sanded the top, so it's all done and ready to go for when I want to paint. So I'm just gonna hit the button here. It'll be at the top. And I'm just gonna hit the start button. And as you can see here, the machine is going to copy the image completely out. Okay, so it just finished. I didn't want to show you the whole progress. I thought it kind of took a little while, so you probably didn't want to watch the video on all that. So this is basically it. I'll hit the unload button here. And see if I can kind of rip it off slowly. You kind of can get the idea. I gotta slowly take around and stuff because it's cut. It's really kind of, I don't know if you kind of can see that. Sort of, not really. I know you can't really see it there. But next step is I'm just going to be painting it into the colors that it is. And then I'll be peeling and sticking it on to the actual buffalo that I did out of wood. Okay, here we are. So I have just finished painting. I painted my buffalo first here with the wooden piece. I painted it 2 coats and on the edges as well. It's a gloss type of paint. It's just a Rust-Oleum metal paint. My box is a little bit cheaper. I bought that and I find it works great because I know it'll stick to the plastic that I have here. And I did about 3 coats of the blue to get to the right color that I wanted it to, and the red I would say maybe 6 times or so coats just to get it because my piece was black. So I'd say next time I would definitely paint it white first and then do my red. I think that'd be a little bit easier just because at times you could see the black shining through a little bit, but other than that it's perfect. So basically right now the tricky part is going to be peeling it all off carefully and then putting it onto the buffalo here on the actual clock that I'm going to be doing. Oh, and what I did here was I just peeled it off of the Cricut mat, and I left the sticky side on basically, or before you peel it so it gets sticky. All I did was just use some masking tape and just kind of put it on a plain 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Just happened to fit on here, and just kind of did it that way, and it really worked out really well actually. So yeah, so that's going to be the next step, and I'll show you the next step with everything all on it next. Okay, so this is my buffalo, how I put the tape on. I peeled it all off and put it on. I just wanted to show you around the edges here for my black cutout. All I did was put some masking tape here around, just so basically I could put the shape on. So if I can kind of see here and take it off, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like here. Just gotta take all this tape off. So it was a little tricky putting it on, but once I take everything off, it's kind of hard to get all the tape on it and everything. But I didn't want to peel and put sticky on because then you'll make your white all sticky, and you don't want it to be sticky because this stuff can be very sticky. Some of it just is lifting up just because it happened to be sitting on the actual black piece. And there we go. It's got a couple more black areas here, but I can peel off, masking tape. And it's got some bubbles on it or whatnot, but you just gotta push it down basically. And you're probably wondering, where's my hole? Where the clock's gonna go? It's basically right here, and I usually just make a little indent, kind of can see, and I just take an X-Acto knife and just kind of cut just a tiny bit away, so that when you put the clock through all the way, the nut will cover that nicely. So yeah, so this is kind of what it looks like right now. And the next step is basically cutting this little area out with a X-Acto knife, like I said, and putting the actual clock through and putting the nut on, and start putting the numbers. And I'll show you how to do that next.